It was a quiet Tuesday afternoon when I decided to do something simple, something thoughtful. My girlfriend and I had argued the night before, nothing explosive, just a cold distance that lingered too long into the morning. I couldn't stand it. So I stopped by her favorite cafe, picked up her usual coffee, and bought a small bouquet of fresh lilies, her favorite. I knew her break was around 2:30 p.m. She'd probably still be at her desk, scrolling through emails or laughing with a coworker. I thought, maybe, just maybe, this would break the ice and remind her that no disagreement could outweigh the love between us. I walked into her office building like I belonged there. The receptionist gave me a familiar nod. I'd been here a handful of times before. No need for check-ins or awkward explanations. I took the elevator up to the third floor, juggling the coffee and flowers, nervous but hopeful. Her office door was slightly ajar when I arrived, the light inside dim, but the computer screen glowing softly. Her handbag was on the chair. Her jacket hung over the backrest. She hadn't gone far. I placed the coffee and bouquet on her desk, then sat in the guest chair, waiting. Minutes ticked by. The room was silent, except for the hum of the HVAC system and the occasional footsteps from down the hall. Then I heard it, soft, almost imperceptible at first. A giggle. It came from behind the closed restroom door inside her office suite. I straightened up, confused. The laugh didn't sound like small talk or funny meme. It was soft, breathy, intimate. My chest tightened. A sinking feeling crept into my gut. I rose slowly from the chair and walked toward the door, each step heavier than the last. I hesitated, telling myself I was overthinking, imagining things. But then I heard it clearly. A whisper. Then another. Low, flirtatious tones, followed by muffled moans that made my blood run cold. I didn't want it to be real. My hand hovered over the doorknob. My heart was thundering in my chest. I should have walked away. I should have turned around. But something inside me needed the truth, no matter how much it would hurt. I pushed the door open, and there it was, everything I had refused to believe. She was against the tiled wall, her blouse unbuttoned, her arms around a man I barely recognized, someone I'd seen once at a team dinner months ago. His mouth was on her neck, his hands gripping her waist. They froze when they saw me, horror etched across their faces. She gasped, yanked her shirt up. He scrambled, fumbling with his belt, color draining from his face. I didn't speak at first. I just stood there, stunned, the warmth draining from my hands as a coffee cup slipped and hit the floor, its contents spilling like everything we had built together. What the hell is this? My voice cracked as I asked, barely louder than a whisper. She couldn't form words. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. The man stammered, "It's not what it looks like." The cliché hit harder than I thought it would. "It's exactly what it looks like." I said, fists clenched at my sides. She took a step toward me, eyes glistening. "Wait, please. Just let me explain." "Explain?" I scoffed. "You're half naked in a bathroom with someone else. What more is there to explain?" Her eyes welled with tears, but I wasn't sure if they were from guilt or fear. For a split second, I felt the weight of all our years together, birthdays, vacations, quiet mornings with coffee, late-night talks about our dreams. I thought about the ring I had been saving for, tucked away in the back of a drawer. I thought we were just in a rough patch. I thought we were worth fixing. But she had made a different choice. I turned and walked out without another word. As I passed a receptionist, the silence followed me like a storm cloud. People stared. I didn't care. I got into the elevator and stared at the wall, willing myself not to break down before I got in my car. When I did, I sat in the driver's seat, gripping the wheel until my knuckles turned white. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just sat there, shell-shocked, letting the image replay in my head like a nightmare on loop. "That evening," she called. I didn't answer. She left voicemails, desperate, tearful messages about how it was a mistake, how it happened only once, how she was stressed and confused. The kind of excuses that don't just insult your intelligence. They insult your heart. She said it meant nothing, but it meant everything to me. It meant I couldn't unsee what I saw. Couldn't unhear her moans in someone else's arms. Mutual friends started reaching out. Some were shocked. Others said they'd noticed something, little red flags I'd ignored, that cut the deepest, knowing I'd been a fool in love, blind to the signs. She even came to my apartment one night, stood outside my door crying, begging me to let her in. I sat inside, headphones on, pretending the world outside didn't exist. Weeks passed. I buried myself in work, avoided parties, blocked her on everything. I stopped checking my phone for messages I didn't want to see. I started therapy, because the truth is, betrayal doesn't just hurt. It unravels everything you believe about yourself, about love, about safety. The therapist told me something that stuck. Betrayal doesn't just break your heart. It breaks your reality. Rebuilding takes time. And slowly I did rebuild. I created new habits, made new friends, rediscovered my own voice outside the echo of her apologies. I didn't rush into dating. I couldn't. Trust felt like a foreign language I no longer understood. Then one day, a letter came in the mail. No return address, but I knew the handwriting. Inside, she told me she was leaving town, that she didn't expect forgiveness, only wanted to say she was sorry, that she still loved me. I read it, twice. Then I struck a match and watched the paper curl and blacken, not out of hate, but because some doors are meant to stay closed. That chapter of my life ended the moment I opened that bathroom door. And while it shattered something inside me, it also set me free. I no longer walk with bitterness. I walk with clarity, with strength. I know now that love isn't just about passion or shared memories. It's about respect, especially when no one's watching. I deserve someone who doesn't just love me behind closed doors, but honors me in every one. That day broke me, but it also began the slow, painful process of rebuilding me, one hard truth at a time.